protocol officers of some of our principals that are here to please furnish us with the names of our principals, because quite often times at occasions like this, you tend to want to make mistakes, and we don't want that to happen. So please, if you're anywhere close by, would like that you furnish us with the proper titles. Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, just joining us as well. Would like to welcome Alhaji Lai Mohammed. You're welcome, sir. We shall kickstart the occasion in a short while. Let me also welcome the President National Women Societies. We'd like to recognize the presence of Mrs. Gloria Larba Shorda. We'd like to appreciate your presence, ma. Thank you very much for coming. Is a cocktail. Is then also an opportunity for us to also get to know one another, make new friends, and get involved in a project of ensuring that the malnourished children in Nigeria are taken care of. Your Excellency, the Chief Convener of this event, if I have your kind permission, whilst we wait, we would like that we get these occasions started. But just as we are getting ready to get started, let me recognize the presence of the Executive Governor of Borno State and his very big delegation of members of the State Assembly and commissioners and distinguished senators from Borno State that have come on his entourage. We'd like to welcome His Excellency Governor Shatima of Borno State. You're most welcome, sir, and members of your entourage. I also want to welcome Your Excellency, the wife of the Governor of Gombe State, Your Excellency, Mrs. Adama Ibrahim Dankwambo. We'd like to welcome you, ma. Your Excellency, you're welcome. Once again, we welcome the Executive Governor of Borno State, His Excellency Governor Kashim Shatima, and members of his entourage. Distinguished Senator Abakari, we'd like to welcome you to this event as well. Thank you for coming, sir. It is on this note that we would like to get these occasions started. It is a cocktail, we understand, but we want to get formal a little bit. In the light of that, may we please, wherever we are, Permit me to also welcome the representative of Chief Arthur Eze in a person of Ms. Oli Nwabweze. We'd like to welcome you to this occasion on behalf of Chief Arthur Eze and on behalf of Her Excellency, the Chief Convener, the wife of the President. May I kindly request Your Excellencies that we get involved at this point by having to take the national anthem at this point in time. Please, let's remain standing for the national anthem. National anthem, please. Have a one round of applause for Nigeria. Your Excellency, the Chief Convener of this event, founder and president of the Future Assured program, wife of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency Mrs. Aisha Buhari, the wife of the Vice President, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Mrs. Olakpo Shibanjo, Your Excellency, the Governor of Borno State, Your Excellency, wives of governors here present, honorable ministers, members of a diplomatic corps, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. We want to get these occasions started in earnest. But just before we do that, may I kindly request that we put our phones in silent and possibly your iPads, your tablets, if you don't mind, please. Tablets are not meant to be on, but we can afford to turn them off, and our phones as well. I invite coordinator program of Her Excellency, who also doubles as our personal physician. May I kindly recognize the presence of the Honorable Minister of Defense and the person of General Mohammed Dan Ali. I'd like us to welcome him, please, with a round of applause. There are some great Nigerian artists that have also come to felicitate and get involved with this project. And these persons are musicians and actors and actresses. Permit me to just mention them very quickly. Banky W. Please, a warm round of applause for Banky W. Dariat Alade is also here. We'd like to recognize your presence. Tunde Demuren is also here. Joker Silva, broadcaster, actress, we'd like to welcome you. Nasiru Danu, and of course Mustafa Habib. We welcome all of you. At this juncture, Your Excellency, all protocols duly observed. Permit me at this juncture. I have recognized distinguished senators, but I forgot to mention that the leader of the Senate is also here leading the senators to this place. The leader of the Senate, ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome distinguished Senator Ali Ndume. Please a round of applause for him, please. Thank you so much for coming, sir. It is at this juncture that I find it very pertinent to then hand over the microphone to the National Coordinator for the Future Assured Program, a brain to reckon with. Please let's welcome Dr. Kamal with a resounding applause.
Your Excellency, the wife of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the wife of the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Governors present here, wives of executive governors present here, honorable ministers present here, service chiefs present. I recognize the presence of Inspector General of Police, Controller General of Immigration Services, Controller General of Prisons, Controller General of Civil Defense, senators present here, members of the National Assembly, members of the diplomatic corps present here, captains of industries, associates of Her Excellency, members of Future Assured team, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Her Excellency, the wife of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, I would like to welcome you all to this very important event, which is the launching of Her Excellency's Get Involved initiative. Her Excellency, the wife of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, in October last year, unveiled her Future Assured program. Future Assured program is a program which aims at improving the health and well-being of women and children through a program of advocacy, communication, and social mobilization. 5 priority programs of interventions were identified as far as activities of the Future Assured program is concerned, of which nutrition happens to be the second priority intervention area. In recognition of the alarming rate of malnutrition in the country and the critical gaps that exist within our national nutritional program, such as lack of a complementary feeding program, poor funding of the nutrition program, lack of awareness on best child feeding practices among women, Her Excellency offered to advocate and champion the cause of scaling of nutrition interventions in the country. So what we are witnessing now is the launching of her advocacy machinery for creating awareness about the magnitude of nutrition in the country, and also for providing well-meaning Nigerians,
the nation's capital territory, to bring you live proceedings of the Get Involved lunch cocktail. Right on air now is the coordinator of the program, who is trying to let us into the activities of today. We will also bring you live proceedings by hands-on professionals from the NTA, the largest TV network in Africa. My name is Ogechi Paul, and we promise to send these live pictures to your living room so you can be part of what is happening here. Get Involved is an offshoot of the pet project of Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, the Future Assured project. And it is a quick interventionist program aimed at halting the yearly deaths of malnourished children in the country, based on the strength that every child in the country is entitled to live and live well. We shall be bringing you, and let's keep watching. Thank you.
Improving the nutritional status of the women, and it has also had a positive impact on hospital attendance by pregnant women. In addition to this, Her Excellency, through her outreach program as well, has screened children across the country for malnutrition, and she has also provided them with vitamin A, and she has also dewormed a significant number of children in the country. All this in an effort to improve the health and well-being and the nutritional status of these children. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at this point I would like to invite you to watch a 5-minute documentary on the efforts of Her Excellency towards addressing the issue of malnutrition in the country. This is to say that even before now, Her Excellency was involved. So she is not just getting involved, but she was involved even before now. Thank you so much.
According to UNICEF, 2.5 million children are acutely and severely malnourished in Nigeria, and unless something is done, 500,000 are likely to die this year. Nigeria is the third country with the highest rate of stunting in the world. In 2005, the prevalence of stunting among under 5 children was 33%. Since inception of the Future Assured program, Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari has contributed significantly towards improving the nutritional status of malnourished victims in affected areas through donation of food items, provision of safe drinking water by constructing boreholes in IDP camps, distribution of medical items, screening of children, deworming of children plus vitamin A supplementation. In view of the alarming rate of malnutrition in the country and the need for extraordinary actions, Her Excellency Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari considered it appropriate to launch the Get Involved initiative with the aim of creating awareness of malnutrition. Towards addressing these problems. Involved is all about coming together to solve problems at all levels. So, get involved now and be part of the solution.
Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to, at this point, recognize the presence of key experts working in the nutrition areas, and not just recognize them, but I would like to invite them to come and talk about the problem of nutrition that we face today from different perspectives. I would like to invite the first speaker, Mr. Ironward. Ironward is the Chief Nutritionist, UNICEF Nigeria. He has extensive experience managing nutrition programs across the world. And as you are aware, UNICEF is one of the agencies that is very close to the situation on the ground in terms of nutrition management. I'm calling Mr. Ironwatt to come and tell us about the magnitude of the nutrition problem we have in the country. I believe Mr. Ironwatt may also want to tell us how we get to where we are today. And probably he may also want to provide solutions. So Mr. Ironwatt, can you give him a round of applause, please?
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the wife of the President and the First Lady of the Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the wife of the Vice President, Your Excellency, the Executive Governors, Honorable Members of the National Assembly, other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and please allow me all protocol observed. Today, 1,200 children are dying in Nigeria because they're not well fed. They're dying of diarrhea, respiratory infections and other diseases, but they would not have died if they were properly nourished. As you see on the banners, in 2016 there are 2.5 million children severely malnourished. What does severely malnourished mean? That are the skin over bone children you saw in the pictures. Children on the brink of death. Severely malnourished means that you have a chance of 1 in 5 of dying. Malnutrition is not a problem of Borno. It's not a problem of IDPs alone. That's the headlines we see now. We see there's a disaster in Borno, and indeed there is a disaster in Borno. And we estimate that in Borno that this year 244,000 children with severe acute malnutrition. And about 50,000 of those children are going to die this year if we can't get them helped. Small proportion of the 2.5 million we have in the country. Kano's got 400,000 children with severe acute malnutrition. Let's move to the south. Lagos, 40,000. Delta, 44,000 children with severe acute malnutrition. Severe acute malnutrition is the problem of Nigeria. And I think that's why we are here, to look at the problem of Nigeria. And these are all numbers. And numbers are meaningless if you don't see the faces. And that's how I appreciated the video, because the video started showing some of the faces of these children. And it counts if it's your child. And I want to believe that the Nigerian child, every Nigerian child is our child. Every severely malnourished child can be treated. There's very specialized food, very high nutrient-rich food. And if we can find a child in time, no child has to die. So these 1,200 children dying every day with malnutrition, that should have been 0. We did not treat them. But of course, they should not have been severely malnourished. Prevented malnutrition. And that's where comes in what I call the big 4. The big four behaviors of Nigeria. The big 4, that if we can get that established, we will prevent malnutrition. And the first one is exclusive breastfeeding. During the first 6 months, a child doesn't need anything else than breast milk. Actually, something else will damage the gut. The gut is not fully grown. Water and other foods will enter, will bring bacteria. The child will get diarrhea. Second, when a child is 6 months old, don't thin porridge is water. We need to give vegetables, add other nutrients. We have to an egg. The second one, nutrient-rich food. The third one is we need to give size. If you add water there, you fill it with water, not nutrients. So you have to give 3 to 4 meals and several snacks per day. And the last one, hygiene. Diarrhea kills children because diarrhea leads to malnutrition. A child with diarrhea eats and it removes itself immediately. So these are the 4 big behaviors that we have to change. And that is where Get Involved comes in. Get Involved is about teaching people and involving people to make a change, to treat those children that need treatment, and to teach mothers and communities about preventing malnutrition. Your Excellency, I thank you very much.
Thank you, Ian, for sharing with us the magnitude.
Yes, you just listened to UNICEF representative Ajam Dokwat. He spoke on how big is the problem of malnutrition in Nigeria. Before that, we had watched a short video on the problem of malnutrition in Nigeria. Statistics has it that 2.5 million children in Nigeria are malnourished, and that 500,000 will die this year if nothing happens. This is a national emergency, and I think that that is why these stakeholders are here to lend their voices to the call by Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari on the need for us to care for our children.
Senator Abubakar Kyari, Senator Babakaka, and Honorable Mohammed Tahir. Thank you so much for coming. The next speaker I'm going to invite is from an organization called Action Against Hunger. Action Against Hunger is also one of the organizations that is very close to the situation on the ground, especially in the northeastern part of the country. Action Against Hunger is also going to tell us what the current situation is in terms of response. What are we doing as a country? Are we doing anything? How far have we gone, and what are some of the challenges? At this point, I would like to invite Mallory Roberts to come and tell us where we are as a country in terms of response. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I wanted to thank Your Excellency, the First Lady, Your Excellencies, the Executive Governors of the states represented here, Honorable Ministers, distinguished Senators and members of the National Assembly, representatives of the UN agencies and donor organizations, and distinguished guests and members of the nutrition community. Thank you for contributing to such an important issue affecting Nigeria, for raising awareness through the Get Involved campaign. The organization I represent, Action Against Hunger, is dedicated to eliminating hunger throughout the world globally to prevent, detect, and treat malnutrition. As this is one of the main principles of Action Against Hunger, we began programming in Nigeria in 2010. At this time, we started supporting the Ministry of Health to develop nutritional guidelines and training manuals, as well as to support programming for the community management of acute malnutrition in Northeast Nigeria. Since this time, we have continued to be one of the leading organizations in the fight against malnutrition in Nigeria. And last year alone, we were able to reach 2,100,000 individuals to improve their nutrition security situation, which includes, as Aryan mentioned, not only just supporting nutrition, but also in water, sanitation, hygiene, and food security. Our current response and future reach is only possible, though, through partnerships which we have with the government of Nigeria, UNICEF, and other organizations supporting nutrition, such as Save the Children and MSF, along with financial support from donors. In the current response, some of the programs that are currently going on include scaling up nutrition services to reach the most vulnerable mothers and children with life-saving treatment in the 5 states in the Northeast, including Katsina, Kebbi, Jigawa, Yobe, and Zamfara. Particular activities under this include the community management of acute malnutrition, infant and young child feeding practices for reduction in chronic malnutrition, micronutrient interventions through the state MNCH campaign, advocacy initiatives such as this, coordination and capacity building for the government. We also have activities producing nutritional education on IYCF and better diet diversity for mothers and for children under the age of 2. We also support complementary feeding programs targeted at pregnant and lactating women that complement life-saving food assistance in Northeast states. Finally, we work on producing the evidence for malnutrition through different types of surveys to provide the needed interventions. From these initiatives, I have seen improvements already from the last 6 years of our organization programming here, which has included actual budget lines getting put into the state budgets. From the complementary feeding program that I mentioned, we have seen real improvements in the beneficiaries. One of our beneficiaries is from Borno State. She's an internally displaced individual, and after her husband was killed, she no longer had the income to be able to provide food for her family. When she first entered into our program, Fatima and her 9-month-old daughter were both malnourished. Through this complementary feeding program that provides local ingredients to make nutritional porridge, after only 2 months, she's been able to improve. She's no longer malnourished, which we could determine through measuring her middle upper arm circumference. But not only after this program will end, she will also continue to improve because she has now learned better infant and young child feeding practices, along with being able to improve her diet diversity. In the larger response, since we've been active in the country, the nutrition response in Nigeria has improved, with the development partners and government have both scaled up their drive to eliminate malnutrition, particularly within the Northeast. The new initiatives by the federal government, such as the National Strategic Plan of Action on Nutrition, have set out costed nutrition work plans and measurable targets. However, the enormous reach required in Nigeria still means that we need to improve on supporting coordination in new areas and areas that have not been receiving support. We need to improve resources for sustainability of initiatives. And there's a lack of awareness on the key behaviors for infant and young child feeding practices that would significantly improve malnutrition. For future to be effective, we need to ensure a coordinated and well-funded strategy in order to maximize coverage of needs in the country that will include strengthening partnerships. We need to raise awareness to show the efforts that we are all working toward under the leadership of the government of Nigeria. And we need to engage leaders in civil society on the need for improved infant, young child, and feeding practices. Finally, we commend the federal government for already working towards strengthening the healthcare system, and an opportunity to build on this can be to increase more nutrition services for primary healthcare facilities. Thank you. I went a little over.
Yeah, that was Melanie Roberts of the Action Against Hunger Initiative, and he spoke on what needs to be done to fight this serious problem confronting us. It is a clear call for the support of local and foreign government agencies, private organizations, philanthropic citizens, WHO, FAO, everybody. All hands must be on deck to fight this serious social problem confronting Nigeria. Get involved. A pet project of Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari to fight malnutrition in Nigeria.
Your Excellency, the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, Your Excellency, the wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Oshibajo, Your Excellencies, the governors of various states present here, members of the National Assembly, honorable ministers, service chiefs, development partners, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Udoma, and Minister of State, Hajat Zainab Ahmed. I wish to congratulate Her Excellency, the wife of the President, for this very bold initiative. Malnutrition and nutrition-related issues have continued to be of public concern in Nigeria. It manifests itself mainly as undernutrition, overnutrition, and macronutrient deficiencies. As since the beginning of the decade, we have continued to grapple with this issue of malnutrition. At various international fora, the issue of malnutrition, especially in children, lactating mothers, and other individuals have continued to be of international concern. And that was why, at an international conference in Rome in 2014, the issue of nutrition was a major topic. The government of President Muhammadu Buhari has not shied away from these responsibilities. That was why in April 2016, the Federal Executive Council approved a national policy on nutrition. And the Ministry of Budget and National Planning is presently coordinating this initiative. We've had some challenges though, and we've had some achievements. We've been able to harmonize policies on food and nutrition. We've been able to contribute to the development of multi-sectoral strategies and action plans. And we participated actively in the evaluation through established national, state, and local government committees on food and nutrition. We've also developed sectorial plans that align with strategic objectives and priority areas of the present government. The challenges mainly have been weak private sector engagement, which we thank Her Excellency, she's bringing it to the table. We also have poor linkages between sectors in coordinating and leveraging resources. But I want to use this opportunity to assure everyone present here that the Ministry of Budget and National Planning, as co-chair, as coordinating chair for nutrition policy in the country, with the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Agriculture, is determined to take on this problem headlong. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, this is the time to get involved so that no single organization, no single government, no one alone can achieve to end hunger of malnutrition in this country. So working together and with all of us getting involved, this problem will be solved. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam Pamsek. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard from the three speakers about the magnitude of the nutrition problem in the country. We've also heard from Melanie what the current situation is in terms of response. National Planning has just shared with us how they've been playing their coordination role and some of the challenges. At this point in time, I would like to take some goodwill messages before I vacate the podium for Her Excellency to deliver her remarks. I would like to first invite Executive Governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, to give us just 3 minutes of goodwill message, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, our mother, the wife of the President, Your Excellency, the wife of the Vice President, Your Excellency, the Governor of Kaduna State, and the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Your Excellencies, the wives of governors of various states of the Federation, our distinguished Senate leader and senators of the Federal Republic, members of the House of Representatives, honorable ministers, members of the diplomatic corps, captains of industry. I've seen Wale Tinubu with backpacks of money to contribute. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The ultimate measure of a person, according to Martin Luther King, is not where the person stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where the person stands in times of conflict and challenges. The northeast of Nigeria had gone through what I call our locust years, when we were treated like a pariah part of the nation. In these times of challenges, in these times of controversies, Her Excellency, the mother of the nation, stepped in and courageously mobilized resources for the good of our people. We cannot thank you enough, Your Excellency, Ma. And when the history of this epoch is going to be written, believe me, your name will be written in gold. I want to thank and urge all other stakeholders in the system to contribute generously to her very beautiful cause. When one part of the nation is affected, believe me, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, all parts of the nation are affected. And at our current rates of population growth, by 2020, Nigeria's population will be 210 million. By 2030, there will be 270 million Nigerians. And by 2050, Nigeria will be the third or the fourth most populous nation on earth with a population of 440 million Nigerians. And by 2050, 70% of Nigerians will live in northern Nigeria. With desertification, deforestation, endemic poverty, pervasive illiteracy, these are the recipe for disaster. And we need to rally around our mother to provide succor, to provide comfort, and to give hope for the hopeless and the downtrodden. We have this obligation for posterity, and for those of us from northern Nigeria especially. If we desire to live in that patch of the world, we have no option than to improve on the quality of governance, to work for our people in our enlightened self-interest. Believe me, the crisis of Boko Haram, the crisis of cattle rustling in the northwest and the north central are all born out of economic deprivations of the people. Believe me, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, once we engage the youth, once we create jobs for the jobless, this madness of Boko Haram, of cattle rustling, of ethno-religious crisis in northern Nigeria will disappear. I want to once again thank our mother. This is not a forum for long speeches, but most importantly, we have to personally identify with her noble intentions, and may Allah reward her abundantly for her efforts. Thank you so much.
Yes, that was Kashim Shettima, the Executive Governor of Borno State. He has clearly signposted there that the IDPs in the Northeast need our attention. The Get Involved is a very clear statement that everybody has to be involved to fight malnutrition and challenges orchestrated by insurgency in the Northeast. It's most unambiguous, and I think that at the end of today, the weak private sector participation, which was identified by the permanent secretary who had spoken earlier, will sink down, and then we'll begin to know what we should do to keep our children healthy, because they are future leaders of this country.
Senator Ndume, to come forward and give us a goodwill message as well.
I think while we're still waiting for the program to continue, it's important to put across some of these statistics that says that Nigeria has one of the highest rate of infant mortality in the world.
I will be called to give a message, and I'm trying to think out of what to say. But one thing that is outrightly there that I've been talking with my colleague is, I thank God for this opportunity to thank you, the First Lady and the wife of Mr. President, for the concern that you have shown for the children particularly and the people of Borno State in general. And I want to use this opportunity, steps that the wife of Mr. President have taken is worth emulating, and I'm calling on all Nigerians, particularly mothers everywhere, to emulate and try to do what the wife of Mr. President is doing. The situation in Borno State particularly, and in the Northeast, and in the country as enumerated generally, is very, very serious. If we don't do something now, I want to say this 3 times. If we don't do something concretely now on these children that are growing up malnourished, sick, with hunger, poverty and malnutrition in Borno State, then we are going to have another war that is worse than the Boko Haram that we have witnessed, God forbid. So I will want you to give the wife of Mr. President all the support, and I want to call on you, the wife of Mr. President, to do more, because what you have started is just, and what you have seen coming out from Bama is just a tip of the iceberg on what is happening in Borno. As estimated, if we don't do something, for sure, more than 50,000 children are going to die of malnutrition. That is beside the number of people that are dying right now because of hunger in Borno State. We want to thank you very much for what you have started, and we are looking forward to others to do and emulate the President, because even if nothing happens, that gives us hope. Thank you very much.
That was Senator Aline Dume, Majority Leader, Nigerian Senate, emphasizing the need for all hands to be on deck in this fight against malnutrition for our children. UNICEF says Nigeria, 1 in 7 children dies before their 5th birthday in Nigeria. I think this is an emergency.
Thank you. Mommy, the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, sister, the wife of the Vice President, please permit me to stand on existing protocols as has been established here over and over again this evening. I would like to, on behalf of my sisters, the wives of governors across the states in Nigeria here, thank our mommy, the wife of the President, for being compassionate, for taking the bull by the horn, for leading with example, for going beyond the call of duty. As the wife of the President, as it has been said severally, there is no official role. But the wife of the President that we have today is a woman of empathy. This she has exhibited several times. Just as Dr. Kamal has said, our mother is launching the Future Assured We Get Involved initiative today. However, as we have seen since our President, Mr. President has been sworn in, that our mother has used her platform to reach out consistently to disadvantaged people in the society. It's obvious that she doesn't play to the gallery. It's obvious that this is second nature to her. It's commendable and it's inspiring. And I would like to seize this opportunity, just as every other former speaker has said, for us to join hands in this initiative to get involved. Once again, our mother, on behalf of the wives of the governors across the 36 states of Nigeria, would like to thank you for this initiative. It has been impactful. You have been able to show everyone the way, and I believe you've been able to inspire everybody in this room to go back home and get others to get involved. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you so much. At this point, I would like to invite a representative of the development partners also to come and give us a goodwill message on behalf of the development partners who are working tirelessly to complement government's efforts. Funding is a major gap as far as our nutritional program is concerned, and we have the major financials of it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Stephen Bell from the World Bank to give us his goodwill message.
Thank you very much. Honorable wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Honorable wife of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, please allow me to stand on all existing protocols, otherwise we could be here for quite a while. It's sometimes said that policy and strategy without money is like poetry. Poetry is good for the heart, but it does not feed hungry bodies, and it doesn't feed hungry minds. And so really the challenge of turning the strategies and the policies into real action that affects the lives of mothers and children is to mobilize the resources. And on behalf of the country director for the World Bank, I'd like to state publicly that the World Bank is ready to make a very large investment in combating malnutrition in Nigeria. What we need from the government of Nigeria is a clear and objective request, and also for the government of Nigeria to put its resources at the service of malnourished mothers and children. I wish you all the best of luck in this endeavor, and the World Bank will be there to support you as you go forward with this noble cause. We want to be your partners as deeply as we can. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Benjamin Lovinson from the World Bank Group. I think the statement was very clear and straightforward, quite instructive. He says it needs a clear objective from the government and that they must make sure that resources are put up. Constructive one, therefore, those who operate our system.
Your Excellency, all existing protocols observed. On behalf of Erisco Foods Limited and on behalf of the other exhibitors, we want to sincerely thank Her Excellency for this wonderful, innovative idea. Everybody will agree that out there is a lot of hunger. People are dying. Nobody to give them hope. People are hopeless. People are jobless. People are dying. This has forced a lot of people that have grown up to join to become what they are not supposed to be. But here we have somebody that is so passionate about life, thinking that there is need to give hope to the hopeless. We need to give assurance to those that do not have an assurance, giving them the belief that tomorrow will be better. And this is the essence for which we all are here. It therefore means that if you are involved, the lives of those people will be transformed to a better life. And this is a call to all of us. And I'm happy standing here before you that on behalf of the exhibitors, we are privileged to be invited to showcase our products, a purely made in Nigeria product, and to which we stand and appeal to all of us also, that if we want to make Nigeria great once again, let us all ensure we patronize made in Nigeria product. This is the only way we can come out of all these problems. Once again, we thank you, Your Excellencies, for visions, and we plead that let us all get involved in giving hope to the hopeless. Thank you.
At this point in time, I would like to recognize the presence of the Plateau State Governor, Mr. Solomon Lalong. I'd also like to recognize the presence of Mr. Wale Tinubu. I would also like to recognize the presence of Malam Bashir Wali, MD Nexim Bank. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of remarks, and I would like to, at this point, invite Her Excellency, the wife of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, to make her remarks. A round of applause for Her Excellency, please.
Hi.
No, he's not there. He's on there. Which one?
Your Excellency, the wife of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Dolapo Oshibajo, Your Excellencies, the Executive Governors, the wives of the governors, distinguished senators, the Senate leader, the members of House of Representatives, honorable ministers, service chiefs and Inspector General of Police and their wives, members of the diplomatic corps and their wives, captains of industries, our royal fathers, the queens, my associates, members of the volunteer groups of Get Involved, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a mixed feelings that I welcome you all to this event. This marked the end of the official launch of Get Involved initiative of my Future Assured program. Even though I'm happy by your presence here, I feel saddened by the magnitude of malnutrition facing this country. As a mother, this is a moment of celebration, but a moment for reflection on the magnitude of the problem. Our actions and inactions towards addressing it over the years. It is important to note that experts on nutrition have articulated the current situation long time ago, the effect being made and the future direction. As you are all aware, the magnitude of this problem is one that cannot be solved by one stakeholder or Nigerian government alone, but it has to be a collective responsibility by all. This is the time for us to once again renew our intentions and commitments towards ending the problem of malnutrition facing our country today. As part of my continuous efforts, I am today presenting a template to Nigerians through the Get Involved initiative. This platform is being used to create awareness about malnutrition, health-related and development challenges. Let me also inform you that this initiative also has other positive attributes, such as bringing people together from different parts of this country to address our national issues, stimulating the patronage of locally made in Nigeria goods, encouraging the spirit and concept of volunteerism, which may interest you to know that several individuals and organizations offer their services voluntarily. At this point, I wish to plead to relevant stakeholders to renew their commitments towards ending malnutrition in the country. Specifically, I call on the following stakeholders to strongly be part of the Get Involved initiative: the traditional rulers and religious leaders, to create awareness in their communities on some of the preventive measures, such as exclusive breastfeeding and appropriate complementary feeding from 6 months of age. The importance of hygiene, such as washing hands and utensils for feeding. Encourage philanthropists to support government efforts to address malnutrition. Private sectors to invest in local production of specialized food for treatment of malnutrition, to reduce the importation of ready-to-use foods, as most of the essential ingredients like peanuts, sugar, milk, and oil are all in abundance in Nigeria. Civil society and media should continue to raise awareness on the burden of malnutrition in the country by conducting mass media campaigns and essential nutrition actions. Finally, I wish to sincerely appreciate the contributions of all those in one way or the other made the launching of this initiative a success. I also wish to recognize the contribution and commitment of governors and their wives, especially their wives. Thank you so much, my dear sisters. The government officials, captains of industries, business men and women, development partners, my associates, celebrities, my future assured team, and volunteers, members of the media, and all those who travel from far away to come and get involved. For these who did not have the opportunity to be with us, please get involved wherever you are. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, wife of the President of the Federal Republic, she said she spoke with mixed blessings for given the magnitude of the problem that confronts us. And she is asking everybody to get involved. Manufacturers of local products, investors, both within and without. Traditional rulers, she says, must get their members to insist on exclusive breastfeeding and hand washing.
At this point in time,
it's been fun here at the International Conference Center.
Excellency, the wife of the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Dolapo Osubanjo, to give us a vote of thanks. Excellency, you're welcome.
On behalf of Her Excellency, the wife of the President, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, and on behalf of the Nigerian child, I wish to extend heartfelt thanks to everyone for being here today. It's very difficult to listen to a crying child and do nothing. It's worse when you have to listen to a crying mother because they have a crying child that they cannot feed. A woman's cry is very bitter. Worse still is a cry of a man that cannot take care of his children. Everyone here and all who have contributed towards this laudable program, Her Excellency wishes to thank you because all you have done by getting involved is letting the crying stop. Thank you and have a good evening.
Well, that was the closing remarks by the wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolakbo Oshibajo. It's been a very brief and laudable event. The message, like we said from the beginning, is very clear, that everybody must get involved to fight malnutrition in Nigeria. 1 in every 7 children dies before the 5th birthday, according to UNICEF report. 18.4% of women of childbearing age in some parts of the Northeast Well, it's been the launch cocktail of the Get Involved project, an offshoot of the PET project, future assured of the wife of the president, Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. We have been bringing to you those live proceedings on the network of the NTA, Africa's largest network. We want to believe that you enjoyed it like we also did presenting it to you. It's been a live OB coverage of this event with hands-on professionals from NTA service. Once again, my name is Ogechi Paul. We thank you for being part of it.